grave reservations and drawn their attention to the last time the traffic lights were there. And just in case they've forgotten, or in case it's new people who don't know about it. So we're making sure they know. We've also written to the GLA, Transport for London, because it's all very well saying get people on the buses. If the buses are stuck in traffic jams, they ain't going to go nowhere. Because the gridlock affects buses the same as cars. And you can't put a bus lane down, the roads aren't wide enough. Staff parking, no mention that we found so far, just how many parking spaces are, 500 and something parking spaces, just short of 600. And some of it's for residents, some of it for customers. They have said the car park will be free for 3 hours, which will enable people to park in the car park and use other shops in the area, which is, that's a plus point, but my concern is they agree to 3 hours now and then they reduce it to 2 hours later. That has happened elsewhere. Noise at night. Well, if you're running a 24-hour operation, people in cars are going to come there 24 hours a day. If you're running a 24-hour operation, you'll need more goods coming in. They'll have more deliveries at night, I suspect, to try and reduce the day traffic here. It's also going to be an online depot, which will also be involved with home deliveries. So there will be more big lorries coming in to load up for the transfer to the smaller trucks bringing it out. There's an argument that says home deliveries are good, but they still have to be serviced by these big lorries. The bridge, well, the biggest single problem in this area is the bridge. And even if they put the money in to widen the bridge, the road narrows for the shops, offices, flats the other side. So there's no point in widening the bridge, because you only moved yourself, your traffic bottleneck up, 20 metres, if that. Environmental impact, bound to be one. There is an environmental impact assessment, which we're trying to get our mind around at the moment. It's very technical, and there is a lot of jargon in it. And we're trying to find somebody to translate it for us into plain English. So, anything else on transport?
Just on the environmental just by inserting the loop on Victoria Road, we've calculated that simple step will generate an additional 100 tonnes of CO2 per annum just by putting that in. There's about 42,000 cars a week go along to and fro Victoria Road. Those are ASDA's figures, not our figures, they're ASDA's figures. About 42,000 cars a week. Now that, added up over the year, and adding how much extra meters they have to go, forget having to sit in the queues at traffic lights, just doing that adds an extra 100 tonnes of CO2. So goodness knows how much 1,000 cars are going to generate.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a few more questions. Yes, sir? I'm behind.
Relating to the staff car parking.
I can't hear at the back.
Relating to the staff car parking, how many staff do ASDA plan to employ? Bearing in mind you said they've only got about 400 plus places for car parking at the store. Do you know how many staff they plan to employ?
300 to 400.
So at least 200 of those would probably have cars, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So
Poor punter.
anybody who lives within half a mile of the new ASDA store has got a problem immediately.
I think it's slightly exaggerated.
Right. Any comments on what we've said so far on traffic? Gentleman down here. You get fit this way, Sally, there we go.
We've also got another bottleneck in the junction of Victoria and Park Road, which at the moment we can't move.
Yep. I suspect the council's answer to that will be double yellow lines everywhere and a parking zone. Yeah, it would really affect the residents' parking. The councillors have said no so far, but when they see, if it were to come, they saw the chaos. That's about one of the few tools days they'd have left to try and sort it out. I know we don't want it, you don't want it, but I can see in a few years' time, if this came to fruition, it's about the only tool the council's got. A word, gentleman over there? It will affect, it will have an impact on everyone in the vicinity. Yeah. Right, any more? One over that, yes? And one over here. Right, one at the back first, and then this gentleman.
Sorry, can I just ask a point of information, please? Do you know who it was that organised a traffic survey just before Christmas that was around Margaret Road and Victoria Road?
2 of the days were organised by Tesco in relation to the Tesco Low Express inquiry, which was held yesterday and the day before, and the 3rd day was organised by Barnet.
Okay, thanks very much.
And we got the feedback at the inquiry this week, and I was scribbling furiously. Gentleman here?
Is Victoria Road now going to become a one-way street?
No.
It's not?
Not on the proposals, the drawings we've seen.
So all the traffic that comes from ASDA is going to stop every other car coming up now?
If you want to come from Victoria Road into Station Road, you will come along Victoria Road, turn right into Albert Road, round the traffic island to the traffic lights.
Yeah,
so
you can get in from the other end still.
Another
resident.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can see there's quite a bit of congestion on the loop.
Yeah.
Right, shall we move on to the next topic? Over with the page. Right, UDP, what grounds were to be approved, planning issues, and who was consulted. We have a list of who was consulted. It's available from the council. We've been through it. We've checked with a number of people we know in different streets. And they say, yes, we've had the document, yes, we've had it, no, we haven't. And this came up in the area forum earlier this week. And the officers are, I believe, looking into where complaints have been made. I have to say, looking at the distribution list, there seems to be a lack of rationale to it. It doesn't seem to have been done on a radius basis, and it doesn't seem to have been done on who's most affected basis. It seems a slightly obscure basis we've not worked out yet. But although the council sent out 2,500 leaflets, we've got out over 5,000 leaflets in the area, so hopefully the streets of Borough didn't get we did. I hope a lot of you have seen our little red and green February and March newsletters. What grounds would be approved? The way the law works in this country is there is a presumption in favour of development. It's not up to the developer to prove why he should build the thing. It's up to the council to prove why they shouldn't build it. So the cards are in favour of the developer always. Having said that, the developer's got to have good grounds to fight his case or to make his claim, because the council will be looking at it, as will you and us, to see how we can argue or oppose different aspects. Or if we agree or like them, support them. And so there is a presumption in favour, but the council goes through it and does a checklist to see, comply, yes, yes, no, 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 possible. And then they talk about the possibles, and then they see whether they become a tick or a cross. And then they have to take a view over the crosses. Are they significant or not significant? The problem is the council is always looking over its shoulder at the Secretary of State. Will it go to appeal? If it goes to appeal, will they get slammed by the inspector? Will they have to pay costs? And costs normally start about £10,000. So they're always a little bit worried, and if in doubt, grant it, because it's probably a bit safer. But if it's outrageous,